Hi, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. I want to show you the card that I made for this month's Simply Sweet tutorial bundle. So each month I collaborate with 11 other demonstrators and we create a tutorial bundle. And if you purchase on my online store, you will get this for free from me. So each month it's a different suite or color scheme or whatever we decide. And if you can purchase it from my blog, pspapercrafts.com, but if you order from me, any size order, I will send you this for free online. So this is the card that I made. So our bundle, this month we're doing the in color combo. So we have fresh freesia, pale papaya, polished pink, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. And then we get into the design team. And these are more. This is me, my cartoon face, I guess. And then we just have a picture, measurements, and instructions. And we go through, each of us contributes a card, and we put this all together for you. So I didn't print out the whole thing, but this is my card. So this is what we'll make today. And I'm using the Sending Hugs stamp set and the Layering Hugs dies. And I really love this set. So the first thing I want to do is just get my stamp and cut and emboss machine, and these dies will fit in this. This is the mini, so I keep it on my desk, and I just want to open it up and get my plates out. So you have your base number 1, you're going to put a number 2, and then I have, let me get my card pieces out. So I'm using every single in color. I have strips of each one, and then the card base and the hugs is in the evening evergreen. So I'll just put this down, and let me get this one out. And we're going to do the big floral piece, and I really cut it just about size. So I usually take my my die and I just measure it and cut it down and put it in the mini. So you can't, you know, put a big sheet in there. And then I'll just put my plate on top. Now this one's kind of intricate. Let me get the plate all the way on top. So I'm going to run it through a couple times. So I'll just run it through. And this machine is nice. It's very compact, easy to use. This handle comes in it, so you don't have to put the handle on. For some reason, mine unscrews over time, so I like this. I mean, I always just screw it back in, but not a problem. So let's see how it looks. I'm going to just turn it over and see if it looks like it cut through, because it is kind of intricate. So maybe I needed to do it a third time. So what I'm going to do is just clear off all this stuff, and I'm going to run it through again. And I'm actually going to run it through upside down. Sometimes if it's very intricate, if you run it through, I'm going to put my top plate on, and then you can usually get this to fit right in. You'll feel it. It'll kind of click in place. So you'll get it right in the right place. Actually, I'm going to just poke out a couple of these big pieces. I don't want anything in the way. So if you ever have a problem where it doesn't cut out all the way, just flip it over and kind of click it into place. And so let's put this back on. And I think because it's more cushiony on top, I think if you do it upside down, sometimes it works better. So there we have it. I'm going to just take this and kind of run it over. I usually do this with it in the die itself, but most of it is out, so we're good. Okay, so that piece is good. And then we need to, let me just get rid of this stuff and put my die back. Get rid of some of these extra little pieces. And I want to cut out the hugs now. So let me take this piece, is a little, you know, small. It's the soft succulent, and it fits this perfectly. I'm going to flip these. I like to keep my, there's some stuff on this. Let me just push it off. I like to use one of my plates for cutting into. So see, this is all getting cut into. And then I like to keep my top plate as just a top plate, because sometimes you get the impressions when you're running through if you have too much cutting on the top plate. And then eventually what I do is I stop using the bottom plate, get a new top plate, and use the top plate for the bottom. So I kind of rotate it through that way. So here's my hugs. And let me just get this off. And put that aside. And then we can get rid of this. Okay. So now, I think we're done with this. So we need to do one more. Let me actually do that right now. I have the, let me just show you the Sending You. So I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen and I'm just going to stamp the Sending You right here. And then there's two size labels and there's a bunch of different sentiments. So you can do From All of Us, Thinking of You, Sending You, Hugs and Kisses, Sending You Birthday, I guess Birthday, Hugs and Kisses. I don't know, you could do some combinations. I'm getting all lost in it, right? So let's just close this up and just pull this out one more time and get that one piece done. So this should be pretty easy. So we just put this on top and run her through. I didn't even go all the way. I didn't line up my plates, but that's okay. I just wanted to get a quick one. And here's my Sending You. So now we can put this all away. We're done cutting. Let's put that over here. And now we want to put our card together. So the first thing I want to do is just line up, and I start in the middle with my pieces. And I'm doing it the same color order that I did. And I just want to get them lined up first. And I start with the middle and go out. And then I can adhere them. So let's see. That looks about right. So I'm going to just pull these over a little bit and get this one down first. And I'll just put some liquid glue on each one, and then I can move them as needed just to get them all lined up perfectly. So I want to make sure it goes top to bottom and try to get it as straight as possible. And once you get the first one in, you're okay. So I'm going to try to use my grid paper to make sure it looks good. Okay, and then you can just keep going down the line and put each one in. And I keep trying to decide what is my favorite color here. I seem to be making a lot of cards with the Evening Evergreen for some reason. I love the Soft Succulent. And with the liquid glue, you have a little bit of time. So I don't know what my favorite is. I can't decide. It depends on the card I'm making. I love the flowers to make with the polished pink and the fresh freesia and the pale papaya. I mean, they're all so pretty. I really think this is one of my favorite sets of in colors. And I do have an in color club, just to mention that. So if you ever wanted to join that, it's pretty much open throughout the year as long as these in colors are current. And what happens is you can get everything you need with the in colors. Each month you'll get one in color. So, you know, like the first month you might get polished pink. So you would get the cardstock, the ink pad, the ink refill, the marker, the designer series paper, the jewels. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So each month you would get the whole set, and then after 5 months you'd have them all. So it's a neat way to start collecting them. You can leave me a comment or email me, Patty at PS Paper Crafts, if you want more information on that. So now I'm going, and I hope you can see this. Let me get something a little bit brighter under here. So now I want to get my hugs down. So I'll just put a little bit of glue on each letter and place this right over. And it gives you a little bit of a border. Doesn't cover it completely, but I like that. I think that makes it look nice. So we'll just put each one down. Okay, so that part is done. And let's actually put this down on the card. Let me do that next. And I'll use some liquid glue with this as well. And if you have some overlap, that's not bad. You can just trim it down, trim it from the back. Sometimes you don't get your cutting exactly the same. I don't know if you find that, but I do. Sometimes you're off by just a hair, but I think this is fine. Okay, now I want to pop this up, and there's not a lot of room, so I'm going to use the word and leave the rest kind of loose. So let me get some dimensionals, and I'm going to do some cutting of the edges. Let me just get my scissors. So I'm going to cut these pieces here. Let me just make sure this is going to fit. I made this card such a long time ago. I don't know. I think it's going to be too tiny. So I'm going to cut these up into small pieces and lay them where I can so that they don't show through. Let me just see. See, that shows through. So you really need a tiny, tiny piece, and you need to place it in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and speed it up. Okay, so I cut them really tiny, and some of them are still a little bit too big. So when I cut them, I really cut them into skinny strips, and I'm just turning it over to make sure you don't see them through. Now I see a little bit down at the bottom of that S, so I'm going to just pull it off and cut a smaller one. So I'm not even cutting it in half, I'm cutting it even smaller. I'm wondering if the minis, they don't always cut as small either. So, okay, so I think that looks good. So hopefully I speeded it up, or sped it up. I don't think speeded is the right term, just so you didn't have to painfully watch this. But I want to make sure that you just cut them as small as you can so that they don't show through. So now just take all the backings off. It's a little bit tedious because they are so small. And you can just glue this down flat. You do not have to pop it up. We'll see how this works. I think I got them all. So now we want to just, I centered it, but kind of toward the top. So I think it looks nice because there's like a shadow under it because it is lifted up. So that's what my goal was. And then I'm going to put this flat. So I'll take my glue and just put this down. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, and then we can place it. It's starting to get dark here. We've been having terrible storms here in Florida. I mean, like crazy. A tree went down a couple of doors down from me. There's a tree down. Luckily, it didn't fall on the house. But it's been every afternoon we seem to have a crazy storm, which is normal for Florida. So I'm using the In Color Jewels, And you could use any color. I chose the soft succulent. I thought that would go well, and I'm just going to put a big and a little down here, and then I'll put a big right up here. And these are so pretty. I don't know if you could see them, but they're very shiny. They almost have like a flat type top. It's almost like a diamond or something, and then with a flat type top. But I thought that was nice. So let's get our inside stamped. So I did the Thinking of You and a couple of flowers, and I'll do that with the Evening Evergreen, and I do have an inside layer. So we'll do Thinking of You. And then I am going to color it. So maybe I'll do the black Memento. I could probably get away with the Evening Evergreen, but I'm going to go with the black Memento just because I'm going to use Stampin' Blends. So on this card, I did the Fresh Freesia. Whoops, this one. This one I'm going to do the polished pink. So let's get stamping done first. I'm going to close this up, and I'll just stamp a couple of these flowers. You can do the greenery. There's some greenery as well. So I'll just stamp 2 of these. And close this up, and then I'm using the light soft succulent for the leaves. This is such a pretty color for the leaves. I'll just color them in quickly. And then I'm using dark polished pink. So I'm hoping it doesn't get too dark here. Before I finish. We're almost done, and it's just getting darker and darker, although sometimes I think the videos look better when it's cloudy than when it's sunny, but we'll have to see. I'll have to see as I look at this if I can see the change in lighting as it gets dark. Yesterday I actually lost internet a couple of times, lost power, and I'm expecting that to happen again today. Okay, so we have this done. Let's get rid of this. And I'm going to use my liquid glue and just put some on very lightly. Which card is it? Nope, this one. And we'll just lay this down and get it centered. So now I have all these little tiny backings from my dimensionals everywhere, but that's okay. So these are the 2 cards. Again, if you order from me, you'll get that PDF for free. If you are a demonstrator and you don't want to order from me, which I totally understand, you can purchase the PDF and get 12 project ideas. All right, thanks for joining me, and have a good day. Bye.